Welcome back to today's video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your own casino website. Okay, so you can manage and run this application from the comfort of your home. So this is the home page of the application that we are currently navigating, as you can see. And there are several games that you can just make good use of. Okay, so we'll go through the user interface, how to set up this application by domain and hosting, and then move our files onto our cpanel account and have our application live on the internet. Okay, so we are going to go through this systematically. This is the user interface. We'll look at a user dashboard. That is someone who's signed in, and then because for users, they have to sign in to be able to play the games. Okay, so if you click on any of these games, they already have access to it. They have to sign up for an account and then sign in to have access to the games to play. Okay, so users are also going to be able to make deposit. Okay, and as the administrator, you are going to set the minimum and maximum amount that users have to deposit to have access to certain games. Okay, this application comes with a lot of payment gateways that you can add to your application. Okay, so at the end of the video, you can add over 20 payment gateways to the application and run it as you may wish. Okay, so yeah, if you enjoy the video, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like, so that you don't miss out on any of my future tutorials. Okay, so once you have your script, the next thing we want to do is to look at purchasing hosting for our application. Okay, so the hosting provider I'm using in this particular video is called Makigo Host. They have high-speed web hosting and domain name services. This is Makigo Host, and that's their homepage, so you can read through Makigo Host homepage to see most of the services they provide. Okay, and once you've gone through that, I want to show you how we can purchase our hosting and domain. Okay, so on their navigation, you head to hosting services, and then from there you can go straight to shared hosting with cpanel. Okay, so as you can see, they also provide a reseller hosting plan with cpanel. They have a shared hosting with cyberpanel that is coming soon as well. So let's just go ahead and go to the shared hosting with cpanel. Once that is done, you can see you have unlimited database FTP accounts and a 99% uptime guarantee. Okay, so if you are purchasing hosting and domain, you want to get it from a service provider that is up most of the time. You don't want your website to be down most of the time and users cannot access it. Okay, so that's why I suggest you go to through Makigo Host. I'll leave a link in the description that you can go ahead and purchase your hosting. Now, the next thing we want to do is to scroll to the bottom where they have all of their services. So I have our hosting services, hosting features and services. You can scroll more down, and then we have their hosting plan. Okay, so as you can see, they have a $2.99 per month Go Basic plan. That's exactly what we are going to use, but your choice of the plan will depend on the requirements of your application. Okay, so as you can see, there are different services that they provide based off of the plan that you choose. Okay, so as if you check the storage, they have 20 gigabyte SSD storage for those who go with the 2.99 per month, and that of 50 gigabyte storage for those of them that go for the 4.99 per month. Okay, so for this particular video, I'm just going to go ahead and order the Go Basic plan. So click on order now, and once you select the order now, you'll be sent to a billing page. Okay, so basically you can see the particular services that you are choosing. Make sure you select a billing cycle to 1 year. Okay, so you get to save a few dollars from that. Okay, so once you select the 1 year plan, you save the 8.33% of the amount you would have paid. Okay, now if you want Makigo Host to do all of the Google Analytics integration for you, you can select that they offer at $15. And if you want them to index your site on Google too as well, they charge $15 for that. Okay, now I have a coupon code for Makigo Host. It's that you can add for a discount. So let's just go to this page. On your order summary, you have change your discount code. Okay, so click on that and put in your discount code. Okay, so I have div25 and submit. All right, so with that you get a 25% discount, and that saves you a few dollars. Okay, now your total checkout fee is at 54.67 US dollars. Okay, now depending on your budget, you want to either enable or disable these services. Okay, because as you realize, the 54.67 US dollars is only for our hosting for 1 year, in addition to the Google Analytics and that of indexing your site on Google. Okay, so if you can do all of this, you don't need to add them. But if you want them to help you do all of that too as well, you can just add them and then check out. Okay, so once we have added our discount code and applied, go ahead and click on continue. Okay, so now we are redirected to a page where we are supposed to enter our domain. Okay, so this will, if you already own a domain from another provider, you can transfer that to Makigo host, or if you are working with a different provider, that's completely fine. That means you already have a cPanel account, and you can just skip the video until we are putting the script file online. Okay, but other than that, if you're ordering a domain for your particular project, you want to enter the domain name in this particular section to search. Okay, to search whether this domain is available or it's not available. So let's just search learn. I'm just going to add learntoday.com. Okay, so we have learntoday.com, and let's search whether it's available. Learntoday.com is not available. Let's just add David. Okay, so learndavidtoday.com, and then let's search. Okay, so these are just random names. Okay, so you will be entering your particular domain that you prefer based on the project that you are building. Okay, so you wouldn't just enter any random project at all, but you'll be entering a name that relates to your particular project. Okay, yes, so now we have learndavidtoday.com is available, and then we can then go ahead and add to cart. Okay, so once that is available, click on add to cart. And now they also do have other product add-ons again here on this page. Okay, so they offer domain name system management and ID protection. Okay, so if you want to protect your identity on the internet, you can pay that $5 every 1 year. Okay, so just $5 per year, or you can add the domain name system management. Again, this is based on your budget. If you don't have the budget for that, you can just go ahead and continue. So we're just going to go ahead and click on continue. And now we are at our other summary page. Okay, so now this is our plan. We have learndavidtoday.com, and that's of the add-ons that we added at 15 US dollars. Okay, so we basically would have been paying 77.89 US dollars, but now we have a discount of 8.22, making our payment at $69.67 from the coupon code that we used. Okay, so once you've gotten to this stage, we just want to enter in our details and then proceed. Okay, so enter your organization. I'm just going to put the movie, and then I'm going to put in my first name, which is David. Last name, that's my last name. I'll put in my email, which is ddarwin@gmail.com. I'll add my phone number. All right, and then my address. Put in your right address in this particular section of the video. So I'm just going to put in the city, our zip code. Let's put in 0233. Let's put in Upper East. Country is Ghana. Receive email announcement. I'm going to select no, and let's put in a password. Okay, so this will be your password to log into your account. Okay, so make sure you are entering a secure password. Okay, so now let's enter our password. Let's change this email account. Okay, so make sure you're entering the right email, because they will send some communication to this email, so you need to have access to it to be able to log into your cPanel account. Okay, so once that is done, check that you are not a robot by going through this Google this reCAPTCHA. So select bicycle and then verify. Let's agree to the terms and then place order and create account. Okay, all right, so once that is done, you have an order completion page, okay, and an email that has been sent to your account. Okay, so for that, it's just a basic process that you follow. So all you have to do is to go and log into your account or your email account and then go through the billing process. All right, so if you have completed payment and created your account, okay, so this will be the user interface that you will log in at Makigo Host. You should, however, note that this user interface is going to be very different from other hosting providers. Okay, so as you can see, I have a Go Basic plan, which is learn with Dave.xyz, that I ordered at 32.89 US dollars yearly. Okay, so now if you've completed your payment through the email account, that is fine. You just wait for a few hours for your cPanel account to be um, account details to be provided to you, that you can easily log in straight to your account, or wait for your domain name, which usually takes a while, about 20 hours to 24 hours, for them to make your domain name available to you for use. Okay, but your cPanel account should not take that long to be provided for you, so that you can go and log in to it. Okay, so if you have finished all of your payment and then you've logged into your account, no problem. But if you are yet to make payment, you can head to their billing and then check your invoices. Okay, you basically see all of your open invoices, paid, draft, and all of it. Okay, so if you click on the paid, you will see all of the invoices that you have paid. Okay, so as you can see, I ordered this a while ago, so my invoice has been marked paid. Okay, however, if you have not paid and you clicked on your domain, you'll be redirected to this page. Okay, so if you scroll to the bottom, you will see that you have the options to make payment. Okay, so you can make payment at makigohost.com/bitcoin or makigohost.com/flutterwaves. Okay, and once payment is made, you will be notified that you have completed payment and your invoice will be marked as paid. Okay, yes, so if you return to your dashboard, you can check all your packages. Okay, so this is your packages, and then once you are here at your package, that's kind of the domain that you ordered, you can just click on that. And if it is Makigo host, you can log directly into your cPanel account. Okay, so you can just click on log into cPanel account, and there you have it. You have your cPanel account open. Okay, so in your case, there will be a wizard because it's a new cPanel account, but I have used this cPanel account for other tutorials, so that's why you are not seeing it. Okay, so yes, this is your cPanel account and this is your hosting provider's dashboard. Okay, and once you have your cPanel account created, we are going to go ahead and then start with the installation of our script. All right, so once you are done downloading your script files, okay, make sure that you're downloading it from the right source. I'm sharing a link in the description of the video where you can find the script files. Make sure that you're buying that from Codecania. That is the source, or the source of the script files that I use. With Codecania, you get to use you get a lifetime support. You're able to contact the developers. Okay, so don't go and visit any random website where someone is trying to redistribute these softwares to you at a price, and then when it gets deprecated and you are trying to contact the developers, you are not able to do so. Okay, so make sure that you are using the right resources, okay, to access the script files so that you don't have any issues in the future. Okay, so with that said, what we are going to do is to create our database. Okay, so once you have your script file available, we want to create our databases before we go on to moving the script files onto our cPanel account. Okay, so this is in no particular order. You could have installed your script and create the database at the end, but we're just going to start with creating our database and then moving our files and then completing the installation without any issue. Okay, so one thing we want to do is, once you have logged into your cPanel account, okay, so as you can see, I'm on this domain called learnwithdave.xyz. Yours could be different at something.com, but this will be the interface. And if you have a new cPanel account, you have some wizard that will appear. You can just close that or click OK. Yeah, so once that is done and you are on this cPanel area, just type on your search tool DB. Okay, so now once you search this DB, you have database wizard, PHP my admin, and manage my databases. Okay, so just go ahead and click on manage my databases. Okay, so once the page loads up, what we are going to do here is to create our database. Okay, so first of all, give your database a name. So in this box, just add DB name. I'm just going to call it DB name. And once you have this database name, just click on create. Right, so you get this success message. Once you get this success message, just please click on go back. Great, so now that we are done creating our database, the next thing we are going to do here is to create our database user. Okay, so if you scroll down, we have database user and add new user. Okay, so on that part, we just have to add our database username. So I'm just going to add my database username. So I'm just going to call it DB user. And now, after you have entered the name of your database, the next thing you are going to do is to create a secured password for this particular database. Okay, so if user information have to be transferred between the user interface of your application and then the database, you have this secure password. So with this user, you want to create a password for this particular user. Okay, so if you already own or have a secure password or strong password that you can use to for this particular user, you can just paste that in this password area. If you don't, they have a password generator right here that you can just click and generate a password. Okay, so I'm going to just click on it, and then you can click on generate password until you have a password that you prefer. Okay, so you can just click on this, and then once you have a password that you prefer, you can just go ahead and use that password. Okay, so this is the password that I have here and that I'm going to use for this particular database user. And once you have selected your password, make sure you are copying this password. So just click on copy, or you can use this and then you can select copy, or just Command C or Control C if you are on Windows. Okay, once that is copied, check this box. Okay, it says I have copied this password in a safe place. Now this is very important. I think I cut my password there. Let me just copy this, and now check this box, and then it says I have copied this password in a safe place. Now what this means is that in the installation of your script or that process, you will need this password to be able to complete the installation. Okay, they'll require your database user, that of the username and the password, in order to what complete the installation of the script. Okay, so this is a very important section, and then you need to have this password saved in a place that you can always have access to. Okay, so I'm going to check that, and once that is checked, you can just click on use password. And now what happens is that it automatically fills this password form inputs with that password that you just created. Okay, so once you are done with this, just click on create user. Now you get a success message here that says that your user was created. Okay, now let's look at one very important part of the video where we have to keep that password that we just created into a safe place that we can always access. Okay, all right, so for me, I have a Word document open that I have named tutorials. Okay, so in this Word document, I'm just going to put in my password. So for the password, I'm just typing in here password, and I'm just going to paste my password. Okay, so this is where I'm saving my password. Okay, so once you are sure that your password has been saved at a place that you can always reference, let's head back to our cPanel account. Okay, so once you are here in your cPanel account, just click on go back. And the last part of creating this database is to connect this database user and that of the database name. Okay, so we want to connect the user and the database. Okay, so if you scroll down to the bottom, you see add user to a database. Okay, so now as you can see, the form inputs for user and database have been pre-filled because we have DB user and that of the DB name. Okay, so if you have multiple databases already created, you have to just use this to select the right database and that of the user that you want to associate with one another. Okay, so that's how we add a database to that of the user. Okay, so it says add user to database instead. Okay, once this is done, go ahead and click on add, and then you are routed to this page where you have to manage user privileges. Okay, so these are CRUD operations that you have to give as privileges to this particular user on the database. Okay, so if you go through them, you have create, we have delete, event, index, select, trigger, update, and all of this insert that you have as privileges to this particular database. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and allow all privileges. Okay, so if you want to allow certain privileges for this particular user, you can go ahead and then check those check boxes that you want to allow. Okay, once you are done allowing all privileges, just go ahead and click on make changes, and now you get a success message here. That means that everything was successful. Okay, so last part, let's copy this our database user and that of the database name, and then add this document to where we added our password. Okay, so I'm just going to push that down a bit, and I'm going to paste my database user and that of the database name. Okay, so eventually we'll reference this information when we are installing the script. Okay, so that's why I had us create our database so that when our script runs, this database will already be available, and then we can just use that password and then what, install. Other than that, we will then be asked to return and create a database and continue the process. Okay, so yes, so that is it for creating the database. Let's just go ahead and then bring our files onto our cPanel account. Okay, so right after creating your database, the next thing we are going to do is to put our website live on the internet. Okay, so anytime someone visits your domain, okay, the person will have access to your live website, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Now, right after you have purchased your script, I'm just going to show you. Your script will come in a format, in this zip format. Okay, so I have this casino app that we are building today at version 3.1. Depending on the time you are watching this video, it will be on another version or in a different version depending on the updates that the developers are releasing. Okay, so make sure you are downloading the application from the right source. Okay, so I already said I'm sharing a link in the description to the files from Codecania that you can download, and always have all the support that you need from the developers of the script. Okay, so yes, so it will come in a zip format. What you do next is to kind of extract this folder. Okay, so if you say extract the zip, you have this file. Now let me just take you through what is inside the file. Okay, so if you open up your folder after you have unzipped, you have this documentations folder, files folder, and updates. Okay, so updates will just give you the versions of the application that you are currently using. Okay, so it was on 3.0 and now we are at 3.1. Okay, yes. So and let's also go through the documentation. And in documentation you have the assets. These are the files that make up the documentations page. Okay, so the assets will contain all the files that make up the documentations. You have CSS, fonts, images, JS, and SAS. Okay, you don't have to go through, or you don't have to go into any of these files. Just go ahead and click on the index.html. Yeah, so this opens up the documentation. Okay, so it contains everything you need to know about installing this application. Okay, however, that's what we are going to be doing in this video, so I wouldn't be going through this unless otherwise there's something I want to reference from this documentation. I'll do that. But with that said, let's just go back to the files. Okay, so the files that we are going to be uploading is this files folder. Okay, so what we are going to do first is to zip this file before moving it onto our cPanel account. Okay, once we zip the file, it probably it once you zip the file, it reduces the file size and makes the uploads much faster. Okay, so go ahead and just compress the file. Okay, it depends on your operating system. You can just move to archive depending on what your operating systems are. Okay, so we are going to zip the file. Once it's done zipping, we can just go ahead with the installation process. All right, so our file has been successfully zipped. Let's head back to our cPanel account right here. And in your cPanel account, navigate to File Manager, so you can navigate to Files, and then that's where you have your file managers. If you don't want to do that, you can just type in your search tool, File Manager, and then you have File Manager, manage and edit your files. Go ahead and open that. And now you are rerouted to this your file managers page. Okay, so um you don't have to worry about most of these folders. Okay, so under your public underscore html file, this is basically where your website files will reside. Okay, so anytime someone visits your application, okay, so if you click on your domain right here, let's close this, and you click on your domain. As you can see, my domain is currently empty. It's learnwithdave.xyz. This is the domain I use for the tutorials. But if you click on your domain, it will be empty, or it will have some few files. Okay, depending on your how much you have used. I've gotten rid of all the files that are in that particular public underscore html. Okay, but now this is going to be where your public this is going to be where your website files reside. Okay, so if you open it, as I just said, anytime someone visits your application, your website will be reading the files that exist on this particular um, directory. Okay, so in order to demonstrate that, I'm just going to create a file here called index.html. Okay, and then save. Once we have that, I'm just going to reload, and then we will refresh our page here. And now what is happening here is that the website or your domain is now pointing to that index.html file, and that's how come it's displaying nothing, because that index.html file is currently empty. Okay, but to further demonstrate that, let's just go ahead and edit this file, and just go ahead and click on edit. And what we are going to do is to just type in here hello world. Okay, and then save these changes. Once your changes have been saved, come back to your website domain and then refresh that. And then as you can see, it's displaying that hello world that we just kept in there. Okay, so this is just for a test so that you understand how the files on the public underscore html is rendered. Okay, so once that is done, let's just go back and Let's get rid of this, we don't need it, so just select it. I didn't mean to download that, but just select it, and then right here you have delete. I want to delete this permanently from my public underscore HTML and that of my cPanel account. And once that is done, and once we have deleted that completely from our cPanel account, the next thing we are going to do is to upload our files. Okay, so make sure you're in the public underscore HTML directory. Okay, and then once you are here, navigate to upload, and then click on select files. Navigate to the location of your files. Okay, so as you can see, there's a Zazino 3.1. I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's just assume that's what it is. It's a casino application. So, and just click on the files.zip. Okay, once that is selected, click on open, and then your upload process will begin. Okay, so as you can see, our files.zip is being uploaded, and then you just have to wait for a few minutes and the upload process will be completed. All right, so once the upload is complete, you see this 100% as well as the green here. Okay, so once you see this green and then 100%, you can just click on go back. Okay, so now that we have our file.zip here on our public underscore HTML, the next step is to go ahead and extract the file. So just select it and then click on extract. Okay, or you can select it and use this extract here on the cPanel's top navigation. Okay, so I'm just going to click on extract, click extract, and then you just wait for a few moments for the file to get extracted. Okay, yeah, so once that extraction is complete, just close it, and now you can get rid of this files.zip. So you can just select it and then click on delete. I'm just deleting it permanently and then just confirm. Okay, so now you can open these files, or you should open these files, and then what we are going to do is to move these files back onto our public underscore HTML. Okay, so if you go up one level, you realize that we are in the public underscore HTML, but the core files of the script are sitting in this directory, which is the files directory. Okay, but we want our files to be in our public underscore HTML. Okay, so we don't want to go that extra level of public underscore HTML slash files, and then we have slash all of these files. Okay, so what we're going to do is to select all these files. So go ahead and click on select. Once you've clicked on select, go ahead and click on move, and then what we're going to do is to get rid of this directory, this files directory. Okay, and once that is done, click on move once more. And now what you have done is you've moved the files that existed in that files folder onto the public underscore HTML. Okay, so now they reside in the public underscore HTML. So if you go up one level, you now have all these core assets installed and your .ht access index.php on the public underscore HTML instead of the files. Okay, so if you open that, it should be empty now. Okay, so we can also get rid of that one. So let's just go ahead and delete it. And now these are the core files of your script that we need in our cPanel account. Okay, so once you've gotten to this stage, I want you to refresh your domain and let's see what this file says. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh. And now we are redirected to the installer. Okay, so this is the script installer, as you can see, and then we can go ahead and then do the installation. Okay, so once you are in this window, if you haven't gotten any errors, sometimes if your PHP version is lower than the required PHP version, you'll be required to update. I have a video in the description where I teach you how to update your PHP version, and then you may also be asked to allow certain file permission during the installation process. Okay, so let's just click on agree and next, and then we'll go ahead with the next steps. Okay, so on this particular window, it says we have met all requirements. It may not be the case for everyone who is currently installing the application. You may have certain file permissions to allow, and I have a video where I show you how to allow file permissions, so you can check that out if that's the issue you are having. And if you get these requirements that are all met, we can just go ahead and click on the next step. Okay, so this is the very important part of the video where we are going to install the script. Okay, so as you can see, we have the requirements that they need. Okay, we have the database details for your website URL. They've already filled in that because we came in through the process. And then we have database details. Okay, so we have existing database if we are creating a new database. um so we already have a database. We'll just enter our database name, our database user. We'll have our local host, which is our database host, which is localhost, and that of our database password. Okay, so once you've entered all this information, the next thing will be our admin credentials. Okay, but so let's go ahead and just fill in these database details. Right, so we are going to copy our database user. So we have our database user as DB user here. So let's go ahead and paste in our database user. And the next thing is to bring in our database name. So we have our database name as DB name, and then we are going to paste that. Last thing, let's bring in our database password. So we have our database password here. Make sure it's the same as the database password you created. This is for tutorials, and I'll change this after the tutorial. So this will not be available for anyone who wants to tamper with my database. So we have also localhost, which is our database host. Okay, now the next thing is to enter admin credentials. Okay, so if this is the information you will use to log into your admin area and be able to customize the application. Okay, so while managing the application, you will need your admin login details to be able to manage and then manage users as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is to enter your admin username. I'm just going to leave it at admin. We'll leave our password at password. Okay, let's just leave it at password, and we have our email, which is our email address. I'm going to leave it at admin@learnwithdave.xyz. Okay, so these are email IDs that you can create in cPanel. Okay, so I have an email created at admin@learnwithdave.xyz, and you can learn how to set up this email account and then set email forwarders, so that if you receive an email through this, it will be forwarded to your actual Gmail account. Okay, and I have videos on this. You can check them out on the channel. So once this is complete and all information is true, you can go ahead and click on install. All right, so once you click on install, you have a success message. So your system has been installed successfully, and then all you have to do is to navigate to your website. Okay, so you can see, go to your website and activate. So you just go ahead and click on go to website. So this is the user interface that you are going to be greeted with at first. Okay, so you have this user interface, and this is the casino website that we are installing. Okay, so now we'll go through the user interface. That is when a user is logged in, and then we'll also go through the admin interface. Okay, so when you first visit your website and then the loader completes, you have this interface here. You have your home, about, games, blog, contact. Okay, and then we have login and user registration. Okay, so you can navigate through the user interface and see the number of games that you have access to. And if we click on the play to play any of these games, which is spinning wheel, you'll be asked to sign in for an account. Okay, but what we are going to do next is to go through the admin dashboard and customize this particular application. Okay, so if you just type in from your domain, you can add in slash admin, and then you put in your admin credentials to log in. So when someone signs up for an account, this is going to be the interface that they will find, and then this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so on the interface they have their dashboard where they can see their total balance and their total deposits, total withdrawals, the total amount they've invested, and then how much they've won versus how much they have lost. Okay, so when a user logs into the application, these are some of the things that they are going to have access to. Okay, so in here you have your deposits. Now you can deposit now. If you go to deposit now, you'll be asked to select like your method. Okay, so if you enable some payment methods in the admin dashboard, you have access to those here, and then you can use that to make your deposit. Okay, so as you can see, you enter your deposit amount, and then you see all of the charges that are involved processing, and then you can confirm deposit. Okay, so up to this point we haven't enabled any of the payment gateways for this particular script, but if you did, you should find them here. Okay, now you can look at your deposit logs, you look at your that's basically your transaction history based on deposit. You can also look at your withdrawals, your referrals. Okay, so if the referrals feature is enabled in your if the referrals feature is enabled in your admin dashboard, you have your referral code right here that you can share, and when users sign up for an account using your referral code, you get a commission for that. Okay, you also have your support. If you encounter any issues and you want to create a ticket and have the developers or the administrator of the site intervene and help you check that out, you can also create. Okay, let's go back to the home page. All right, and we are currently logged in. Okay, so as you can see, we can easily navigate to our dashboard, but this is the home page. Once you are logged in, you get the navigation and then you get your dashboard. Okay, so let's just try this one here, this, and click on play now. And once it loads up, you have a number of the games. Okay, let's see, rock paper scissors, and then the game loads up this way. Okay, so you enter the amount. Okay, and as you can see, my current balance is 0.00. I don't have any amount here, but once you make your deposit, okay, so you see the minimum is 1, and once you make your deposit, you can just go ahead and click on play now. So I'm going to select paper. That's how you do it. So you select which one, and then you click on play. All right, so you are currently seeing an error where an amount is required. Okay, so if I want to fix this, I can go where we have a free version for starters. Okay, but here the minimum amount is $1. So if you set up your account, then the individual enters the minimum amount, they'll be able to make or play this game. Okay, yeah, so that is it for the user area. Okay, and how they'll have access to most of the games that you have on your platform. All right, yes, so if you enjoyed this video, we are going to move to the admin area where I'll show you where you can enable most of these features and customize it to your needs. Okay, yes, but if you enjoyed the video up to this point, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like credentials and logged in. Okay, so this is the user interface that you are going to see. All right, so you currently do not have users, you don't have active users. We are going to look at how to set up this application so that users can sign in, sign out, and make deposits and play their games. Okay, if you want, you can set up a referrals for your users. Okay, so users will set up referral and deposit referral commissions. So if you want to set up referrals for your users, you can also manage the games. Okay, so you see all your games. So we have games right here, and then you manage the games as in how much they have to pay to play this particular game. So the a minimum investments of $10 and a maximum of $100. Okay, so you can edit these games. So if you click on edit, you'll be able to update this information on all these particular games. Okay, yes, so if you also want to put this on a trending list or a featured list of games, you can also add that. Okay, and then there's this text that you can write information about that particular game, how to play, and bet on crazy times. Now you can also manage the users. Okay, so if you see here, you have users that you can manage. You have know your customers settings that you can also set. Then we have the deposit. Okay, so this will give you a list of the transactions that are being undertaken on your platform. So you have pending deposit, you have approved deposit, and then you have successful deposit. Okay, then we also have deposits that have been initiated but have not also been completed. Okay, you see all your withdrawals, you see support tickets, that's if they are created. You see reports, that is reports on transaction history, login history, and notification history. You also have what? Subscribers. Okay, so if you have subscriptions on your site, you have that information right here. Now let's go to our system settings. Okay, so to customize these particular applications, you can customize the general settings. Okay, so general settings will be like the currency, the application title. Okay, so as you can see, we have right here, um you have the theme of the website. So this is the site base color and that of the site secondary color. Okay, so if you have the hex value for the colors that you prefer using, you can just paste them in here and submit. Okay, and that will get updated. All right, now you see that here there's a registration bonus at $10. You can update this and then make it whatever value you want to. Okay, if you don't want to use this settings icon, you can also use this range right here, and then it will you'll be redirected to the same window. Okay, you have system configurations, user registrations, which you enable force SSL. Okay, and then that will just enable that people are visiting this application on a secured URL. Okay, and then know your customer verification, KYC, email verification, and a ton more that you can update. Okay, now let's go on to enabling payment gateways, because that is basically where the money will be coming from. Okay, so if you navigate to payment gateways, then you can enable the payment gateway that you want to use on your particular platform. Okay, so if you scroll through them, you can enable them. Now if you select a particular payment gateway, so you are taking paystack here and you want to edit. Okay, so whenever you sign up for a paystack account, they will give you this or you have access to your public key and your secret key. Okay, that you can then use to update these input boxes and submit. In that way, anybody who tries to make payment using paystack, they'll use these particular details, or your payment will be processed to this particular URL, which is your account. Okay, yes, so that's it for the payment gateways. You can check them out. Okay, now you can also update your logo and favicon. So your favicon is this particular icon that is next to your URL right here. Okay, but you can also change your logo. So this is the logo right here. When you click on it, it just refreshes the home page. You can update this logo. So you use a free tool like Canva to design your own logo and then make that available on your site. Okay, and then that will be updated as well. All right, so we have notification settings, we have withdrawal methods. Let's check that out. Okay, so we currently do not have any withdrawal methods, but you can add a withdrawal method to your site. You add your minimum amount for withdrawal, maximum amount individuals can withdraw. You add your charges. Okay, so anytime they are making the withdrawal, those charges will automatically be taken out. Okay, now if you have withdrawal instructions as well, you can add that. If you have user data, and so you also have the name, the currency, and the rate. Okay, so yes, you can also edit this part. Now let's get back to our settings, and then we are able to manage the front end. Okay, so if you come here, we have the front end. So you can manage your about section, you can manage the entire application from the admin dashboard. Okay, so what you do is to basically go through these sections one after the other while referencing this particular user interface. Okay, so if you want to change some of the text, some of the colors, you basically go through and be checking. So as you can see from here, we had our blog section, which is right here, and then we have our blog page. Okay, so if that's what you are going to update, you navigate to your blog and then reference your blog, okay, while you make update to your admin dashboard and save. Okay, let's look at our social logins. Now we currently have not enabled users the ability to what, log in using Google. Okay, so this is the authentication providers that you can configure in this case. So we have Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, so is this thing where users can choose to log in using Google or using their Gmail, using their Facebook account or LinkedIn without having to set up a password name. So what happens is these people or Google basically will share the account information with the application, and the users will not have to create a password and all of that. Okay, so yeah, so that is it for the social logins. Let's get back to the application, and then we have extensions. Okay, now these extensions are the custom recapture, we have Facebook comment, we have Google Analytics, we have what, Google Recapture 2 and Talk to. Okay, so if you want to add live chat, which is Talk to, you can click on that and configure it. Okay, so if you go to and you configure, they'll ask you for your Talk to app key, so you put in that and then you can paste. All right, and then once you submit, it should update. All right, yes, so yeah, that's it for this particular video going through the casino application. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe.